Be an Esther. Stand up for what's right, even when your voice shakes. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's choosing to speak anyway. Your voice carries weight, your presence has purpose, and sometimes God will place you in rooms where you feel alone because you are the one who is meant to make the difference. Be brave, even when it feels like no one is standing beside you. That's what makes an Esther. Hello, my friends. Welcome back. Grab your gloves because we're about to pour some magic. My name is Tammy, and I'm so glad you joined the chaos with me today. Today, we're going to be casting in one of my picks from Resin. And that is this beautiful sunflower. The edging is really unique. Can you see that? And I almost thought about taking my green chrome powder and brushing it in like grass, blades of grass. There's none on the bottom there, but it is all the way around. And then I thought against that, at least for the first one anyway. But I do want to try that at some point. Then I want to take my crystal inlay that I made, and I want to place it on the back there. So to brush the sunflower in, I'm going to be using several different powders here. I'm going to be using Let's Resin Chrome Powder, their Color Shift Mica Powder, and then I'm going to be using my Lucky Mica, the yellow out of here. It's right here. It's golden yellow. That's the only one I'm going to be using out of this kit. I want to pair it with my Chartreuse by Let's Resin out of the Color Shift Mica set. So I want two different yellows for the sunflower. The center of the sunflower, I want to use my Rolio in Viridian. Then for the stem is also going to be done in the Viridian. And then the leaves on our sunflower is going to be done in Chartreuse Yellow and Green by Let's Resin's Chrome Powders. I have this little cutting board underneath my piece because I don't want this mold to mess up my silicone mold. The handmade molds, they will bubble up your silicone mats. So you just place something underneath them and you'll be fine. But what I want to try to do here is take some of my wrap here, and I want to place it around in there so that we don't get the mica powders all over the place. So I'm just going to try to cut a little area out here. Like that. I'm all set up and ready to brush in my mold. I'm going to put you on a time lapse while I do this, but I'll show you how I'm going to do it. Now I have all my brushes ready to the left, to the right, all my colors out. I like to dip a little bit of the powders out onto the paper towel here because I dip in the paper towel and then I just bounce off the excess. And it just seems to help out a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and go in and get this center done. Isn't that a beautiful color? Now this came in the Rolio set. And it has some beautiful colors in it. The Rolio set does. And you get a lot in your little containers. And they are some beautiful colors. Okay, I think that looks really pretty. And here's the Rolio set I was talking about. And that's all the colors you get in it. It's a really nice kit. Now, I switched this color over into my own container. So they don't come this big. They come in this size, but still that's a lot of powder. And it's some really pretty metallic colors in there. So that's, this color is out of that kit. Now, let's go ahead and get that stem while we're at it. Okay, that looks good. I also want to take a little tiny brush. Let's see if I can find one over here. Let's use this one. And I want to see if I can go in between those leaves. Like that. You see that? Isn't that beautiful? Just right in the center of that leaf. Let's see if that will make a beautiful addition to our flower. Now you'll see the video speed up here in a minute. And then I'll meet you back on the other side. Well, I finished brushing this in, but I've done one of these, or two of these in the past. They weren't identical to this, but they were almost like this. And there were mistakes that I made and I learned from. You don't brush all the way down into those edges. You don't have to do that. You don't have to go down that far. But some of my chrome powder still got in those little cracks. Do you see it? So what I'm going to do before we put resin in it and put it in the pressure pot is I'm going to mix up some 1 hour Promise epoxy that'll cure in 1 hour and just clear. And we're just going to drop it down in there, let it cure in there, and we'll pull it out. Okay, I hope I mixed up enough. I only mixed up 40 mils, 20 mils of A and 20 mils of B, because we just need a shallow pour in here. And I'm just going right around these little areas here. We want to get it in there, but we don't want no deep pour. And I'm just going to take this little stick here. I probably need something thinner than that. Let's just get one of these. And I'm going to make sure it's up in there where it needs to be. Okay, it's gotten all in there. I need to push some in here. There we go. Okay, it looks good. We've got it up against all of that area. We don't need any out there. I don't need it to be out there. So it's all in the little cracks up against the flower. And that's where we want it. Okay? But I have a little memorial piece here that I've been asked to do. And I want to do a little practice piece on it first. So I'm going to go ahead and spritz some alcohol in there, and I'm going to build it up. Now, the ashes are going to be in this little jar, but I have tons of these, so I'm not worried about losing that jar. I just need everything to be placed where I want it. And these are little inlays that I made. This is a steampunk style memorial piece, and it's got a heart here, another heart that has a design on it. And then this is a clock, half of a clock. And then these are pieces I cut, trimmed up. So we're going to go ahead and go in here. And I'm going to build it up. I want that clock over here, down here. Like half of it's missing. And then let's do this heart right there. And I want some of the gears coming off of the heart both ways. Just like that. And then I want these gears to be hanging off over here. Like that. Okay, that looks good. Now we're just going to drop this in here. I'm not worried about any bubbles or anything. I'm just trying to make sure I have the placement right. Okay, I think that's too much resin. Yep. I have to get some of it out. Okay, that looks good. I think I can get all of the pieces out from there. Hopefully. And that's not the same style bottle that I'm using either. It's going to be a different bottle, but kind of shaped like that a little bit. I've done several of these in the past, and someone's seen it on my Pinterest and sent me their ashes to do it. All right, I will see you in an hour after this is cured, and we'll pull that out. See you later. It has not been 45 minutes. It's been 35. But I don't want to let this fully cure because then it's going to be sharp and it may cut or mold. So let me get you down a little bit so you can see a little bit better. We're going to go ahead and try to lift it on out of here now. And you want to make sure you pull away from the flower. So I'm going to go ahead and break that resin so I can make sure that it's coming away from everything nice and neat. There we go. It cleaned off everything, it looks like. Now I'm just going to take my little tool here. Be very careful getting those out. There we go. So it cleaned some of it off for us. I left a little piece right there. Okay. It looks good. So let's get that resin mixed up and get to pouring, my friends. I have not watched anyone do this mold, so I have no idea how much resin it takes. So we're just going to have to wing it. I think I'm going to mix up, I'm thinking somewhere around 12 to 13 ounces. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Let's do 12. I'm just not sure where it's going to set out. We can always mix up more if we don't, if we miss the mark. While our resin's on the turner, let's try to get these steampunk pieces out. Because I need to brush in chrome powder where they're at. I just want to make sure I have the placement right before I do the actual piece, because I'm messing with someone's ashes that are very dear to them. So, and I was sent enough to make another one if I mess up, but I'd rather not do that. So I'm just going to make a practice piece, make sure I have everything laid where I want it and that it looks good. Alright, we'll see what's going on when I brush in some mica in there, some chrome powder in there. Oops, dropped a piece in there. I don't want that. Get out of there, buddy. You don't belong in there. Okay. I've got the Bond Crafter epoxy resin mixed up. This is 12 ounces. We have the Bond Crafter vacuum machine out. So we're going to get 3 cups in here. Make sure they're flat on the bottom. Put the lid on. And I'm going to start it for, let's do 9 minutes. I haven't done 9 minutes yet. Now I'm going to release the valve in the back. All right. Those look good, but that one over there has got bubbles in it. Now I wonder why that is. Isn't that crazy? That is just bizarre. They're popping, but man, that's a lot. I've never seen that machine do that before. But they're popping pretty quick. All right, there's something in this one. I'm not quite sure what that is. A little floaty. We don't like floaties. No, we don't like floaties around here. Okay, that looks good. Whoops. It wanted to go back in the resin. Let me get my little sheet back down here again. Okay. Let's go ahead and pour. And I'm just going to pour very slow. All right, I'm going to get my fan, and you might start seeing some of my paper towels move because I'm turning my fan on because I want to slow down that exothermic reaction. Get it slowed down as much as I can. Okay, we don't have enough resin. Go figure. So, it looks like we're about 2 ounces, maybe 2 ounces shy. So, we got some more bubbles that need to release from that resin too. They're floating pretty much on the top there, so I'm in high hopes that they're going to come right onto the top. So we can go ahead and get them. I didn't get any, I didn't get much of my powder floating around at all. So that's a good thing. All right, I'm going to mix up 2 more ounces and I'll be back. You know what? I'm not going to mix up any more resin. I'm just going to leave it be. Because it's not lacking much. And it's not going to matter. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm not going to put any more resin in it. So we'll go ahead and let it thicken up for... I might check it in an hour or so since there's so much resin in there. It might... it might thicken up more, and trying to get those bubbles to come to the top. It might thicken up a little bit more faster, and we can lay this inlay on the back. But I'm not going to go in there anymore, deep down in there. I'm going to just stay on the top here because it just creates more bubbles. So I was trying to walk these to the top here. Yep, and I'm just going to quit picking in it because the more you pick in it, if you dig one bubble out, you're creating a bubble. So the best thing to do is just leave it alone, let them come to the top, and take care of them there. So I'm going to go ahead and spritz a little bit of alcohol on the top there and pop those few. And I'm just going to halfway cover it. I still want the fan to hit it, but I kind of want to keep the dust from going in it. All right, so I'll meet you back in about an hour and we'll check it. And if we need to let it go for 2 hours, then we'll let it go for 2 hours. See you later. I'm just going to lift this up and let's see what's going on. Ooh, I might be a little bit too late putting that on, but we're going to give it a go. There we go. I'm just going to leave it like that. I don't have enough over there, but let's see. Yeah, I can't move it now. It's on there. So we're just going to leave it alone and see what happens. All right. I will see you when it's time to demold it. See you later. I just placed 2 more of my inlays right there and right here. So that way it'll fill up those empty spots. All right. I'll meet you back when it's time to demold it. Y'all ready to demold this? I know I am. I'm a little nervous and a little excited. Okay, so I placed these 2 right here on the edges. I probably should have just left it alone and we could have had that space. Who knows? It may have turned out pretty. So I don't know what we're going to have. I made some little ice cream cone inlays. I'm going to have all different kinds in my shop. But y'all let me know. Should we do them in sets of 4 for 4 coasters? Or should I list them in sets of 5 for 5 coasters? Let me know in the comment section below. The most votes win. So let me know your thoughts on that. In groups of 4 or in groups of 5. Or I could leave it as is in my shop because they're listed in 4s. And we could put in a small, like a little small note at the bottom that says add an inlay for so much. Like if they're listed as 4 and you need 5, 6, 7, or 8, you can add those on. So let me know. We can do it either way. But if I change it to 5, then that means I have to go in there and change all the listings in my shop, which I'll do. No big deal. I'll do that for you all if you'd rather them be listed as 5 instead of 4. Or would you like to leave them as is and then just tag a little note in there that says add an inlay for such and such? Let me know. Let's get this off of here. I'm a little bit nervous. Can y'all tell? I'm a little bit nervous. Oh, here we go. What's the worst that can happen? We just make another one, right? Right. Okay, here we go. That sounds better. Oh, we got a few little bubbles in it. That might add to the beauty of it. Yep, that might add to the beauty of it. So let's get it out. We're not going to fret. We're not going to fret over that. Nope. This is art, and it doesn't have to be one certain way. All right, let me make sure my table's clean here because I don't want to... Well, we could flip it over on the other side. Well, my chrome powder stained my mold. You see that? Oh well. It's used for creating, isn't it? Just stinks a little bit that it done it on the first time I used it. Okay, are you ready? Here we go, friends. Oh, oh my goodness, it's captivating. Wowzers. I love it. Love, love, love it. Thank you, Jesus. That looks beautiful. And I am not mad about the little area that the inlay didn't catch. It does add to the beauty of it. It looks almost like it's raining in there. It's truly beautiful. And check out our sunflower. Let's talk about that a minute. You see how I used the two colors? It made it look realistic. See how our leaves turned out by using several different colors and blending them. Blend, blend, blend. That's the key. Yes, you have to blend those colors. It's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This piece will be in the drawing, my friends, on Friday. Here's my thoughts on this. Oh, and I will have this crystal inlay listed in my shop. I don't know if it'll be there right now, but keep an eye out for it. It will be listed in there soon. I just made this one, and I thought it was a really good size. And I'm glad that I did keep it at this size because it works very well for this piece and many others. I had this mold right here, and it came with this little mold, you know, because the bottom's flat and it sets up on the little light box right there. But the only problem with these cheap molds right here is sometimes when you get them, the mold is not shaped like it should be. It's all distorted. And that's what happened with this one. So I wanted to make my own mold, so I wouldn't have to keep dealing with that, propping it up, putting things here and there. So I created in it and made this base right here. And I wanted to make my own mold out of this. So I took these little wooden pieces right here. And let me move this right quick so y'all can see what I'm talking about. So I filled it up with epoxy resin, right? And it's all distorted. So I took these wooden pieces here and I just brought it in like that. But I didn't have any for this side. So now it's bulging out a little bit right there. So my piece did not come out as planned. Yep. So now I'm looking for another base. I'm tempted to order another one and see if the next one comes in like that. But yeah, I'm trying to get me a good piece that way I can make my own mold and I won't have to deal with this. So I'm going to find a base somewhere. And when I do, I'm going to get that mold because these bases can work for so many pieces. So many pieces. And then you would only have to purchase your little light strips here to go in them. Turn them on and off right here. It's USB. And you create your piece. You demold it. And then you take your light strip and you place it in there. You can tack it, whatever, but I don't do anything to it. I just set it in there just like that. Then you take your piece here, and you lay it over it, and then you light it up. Okay, I've got it lit up, so I'm going to try to dim some of these lights here, and we can have a look-see at it. And there it is. Isn't it beautiful? So pretty. So very pretty. And here is one of the pieces that I had to go locate it. Here's one of the pieces from Resin. This is one of their handmade molds. This is one of the pieces I learned a lot off of, which brought me into this piece right here. Yes, I learned a lot of things creating in these. I have one more like this. I have a magnolia, and there's another one that I have too. And I learned so much from those molds. You do not brush in these molds with alcohol. You do not touch them with anything like this. No alcohol, no nothing. The best way to clean them up on the inside is to pour some type of resin in there. Now, I wouldn't do UV resin, because let me tell you why I wouldn't do UV resin. If you do UV resin, you can't cure it from the other side. So when you pull it out, you're going to have a bunch of that liquid UV resin to clean up. So I wouldn't, personally, I wouldn't use UV resin, but that's totally up to you. You can use whatever you want to use. I'm only giving you my tips and my tricks that I've learned in my journey with these type of molds. I would use the, let me grab it. The 1 hour fast cure resin, if you're in a pinch for time. If you're not in a pinch for time, then, and you don't want to purchase this, then you can just do regular epoxy resin. If you're not in a pinch for time, let that cure. And you don't have to let it fully cure. Matter of fact, I wouldn't let it fully cure, because if it fully cures, it's going to be pokey and sharp, and then it may scratch your piece as you're pulling it out. I would let it almost cure to where it's soft, but it's going to clean everything out of that mold, and then just pull it out, just like I did in the video. And that's just a few tips and tricks that I learned along the way using these handmade molds. I do weekly giveaways if you're new to my channel. And on Fridays, if you want to be in that giveaway, you get to choose any of my makes through the week. And you will also be packed in your box, if you win, 2 or 3 of my traveling coasters. And I just ask that you hide them around your town. And it has a little NFC reader in it, and who finds it can scan it, and it will give them all the directions and the details of the whole concept and reason of the traveling coasters. It's just to spread a little bit of love and a whole lot of God. Every one of my coasters has scriptures on them, and some of them are rare, and they have prizes. So I thought it would be fun to do. My inspiration came from the little rocks that were hidden around to spread kindness. That's where my inspiration came from. But I'm excited about it. I've had 2 boxes. Well, 1 box has made it to my subscriber. The second box is on its way to my subscriber. So we're just getting started, and I'm super excited to see that very first coaster land on my community page. If you want to be in this giveaway, please make sure you comment underneath Friday's video. It will always be Friday's video where I collect my names. We have really bad weather here and the power keeps going on and off. So you might see my lights flicker in the video a time or two. But if you win and you choose this piece and you want this base right here, you're more than welcome to have it if you would like to have it. I'm not going to do a thing with it. It can't serve me any purpose because I'm trying to make a mold and it's a little wonky. It's not bad. It's not bad. You can see yourself. It's not bad at all, but I need it to be perfect to make a mold. And it's just not, it's not there yet for me. So if you want this, you are more than welcome to have it. You'll have to get your own light strip for it though. So that's the only thing. And it'll set right up there on that. And you can put your little light strip in it and light your flower up. Now let's see my little sample piece of how this is going to look. This will tell me any changes I need to make. Or if I'm happy with it. Okay, are you ready? All right. I like the clock right there. I like the heart. I like the gear behind the heart there. I like that gear. But, and I know this right here is because the heart, there wasn't any resin underneath it and it didn't come out. So I'm going to do one more practice piece to make sure. I'm going to do a few little changes in here. So yeah, I'm going to do a few changes. And the colors are going to be different. Each piece will have a different color. So yeah, I like that gear peeking out right there. This gear, it's right here. That one peeking out. There wasn't enough resin underneath this. That's why it looks funny. And this was done with that 1 hour promise epoxy. It's what we had left from pouring in the sunflower to pull out the chrome flakes. All right, so now I know where my changes need to be and what they're going to be. I also had extra resin left over and I poured this turtle. Now this mold, I found it. It was way back underneath a bunch of molds and it was one of my very early on molds. So it's not the best, but I poured it with extra resin that I had left over. The way I cut it, every time you pour in it, you have to do cleanup on the edge there. But he's not too shabby. Not too shabby. I cleaned him up. He got a little bubble right there in his fin. Cute little guy. The mold's all jacked up, so if I want to use it, I just have to clean the edges of him. And then he's good to go. I like him a lot. Pretty cute little fella. If you'd like to try your hand creating in this a beautiful mold right here, you can find it at Resin. I will drop their link below. And I also have a discount code you can use to save you some money while you're there. I'll pop it up here for you. I think this is a beautiful, beautiful mold. And my mind is just racing with ideas to create in this mold right here. Let me know your ideas. I'm also thinking that we might make another piece and focus a little more on the edging here. I think it looks like beautiful wispy blades of grass, or it's giving me some rocky vibes. It's giving me a frozen in time vibes. It's just giving me all kinds of ideas. So let me know how you would design this piece, and your idea might be the one I pick. Yes, we're going to do another one of these very soon. And if you pick this piece, if you are the winner in the giveaway, you are more than welcome to take this little stand if you'd like. I just won't be sending the little light strip with it. You'll have to get your own little light strip to go in there. But if you want it, you're more than welcome to have it. I'm not going to be doing anything with it. And then this piece right here that I am creating as a memorial piece for someone, I was inspired by this steampunk look from Claire at Claire's Crafty Corner. She created a beautiful piece kind of like this, but not. I mean, that's where I got the inspiration from, was her piece that she created, and it was a long time ago. But yeah, I always like to mention that every time I do a memorial piece like this, because she inspired me to do a piece like this. And it's about that time, my friends, for a sweet goodbye. And I will see you in the next video. God bless you. Goodbye, my friends.